All right, good morning. How's it going out there, YouTube? I have a change I'd like to show you guys. Something I've been wanting to do for a while since I heard about the change here. Woke up first thing, and come out here. I wanted to show you guys last night, but it got dark and couldn't really see. So I heard about swapping out 99 to 03 seats from a Chevy pickup truck, and I heard that it's pretty simple. So I found a set. I think I paid maybe $25. I think $125. I think I bought these seats for, and didn't realize how complete and how easy of a kit this was to do. I'm gonna go ahead and show you. So before I tell you, I bought these seats. They're not in rough shape, but they're not brand new. So for $125, whatever I bought them for, I'm going to see how I like them, and then maybe next summer you can buy recover kits for them. The bottoms I know were about $35, $37, and it is a direct fit, exact replacement of factory. So as long as the seat cushions are good, which I'm pretty sure they are. I forget what the backs were. I think the backs were a little more expensive, $60 or $70. I think each side I was going to buy the leather for $100. But anyway, here we go. These are the new seats. We just did this last night, me and Desiree did. And they come with their own seat belts. So I ended up making this panel for the back, and unfortunately I did it with this in here, but I'm gonna probably just make another little block to go in here. I don't know how well you guys can see that, but anyway, this is the seats. I gotta get this figured out here a little bit. I might try a little bit of dye or something. I think it's just the color came off, but that's the leather underneath. And there's one little speck here. I might try to get a kit or something to get that leather repair kit. This probably just happened last night when you get more than that. But to show you how simple of a deal this is this here is the factory bolt hole. This is the other bolt hole from the original seats. And this one here. This one I had to spread out just a little bit, but I mean by spread out, I mean I just put the socket on the ratchet and just put it down in the hole close, and then just pulled up on the ratchet and then tightened it up. And then there's a plug right here, and it is so simple that I looked at the I'm not gonna be able to see that anyway. There's about 10 or 12 things in there, prongs, and I just looked at the one that had the big black wire, because I knew that would be ground. And then I took and made up these deals last night, and I used my jumper box, and I put the plugs on it, and I put the ends. And the ends, these are the tiny little ends too. It actually went really nice. The first tabs I tried fit. So that makes all this power. I'm not sure about this. I didn't do this. This is the lumbar, I think. But all this works. Forward, backwards, So I got the seat in place pretty good. I don't have it hooked up now, so I can't move it forward. But I don't have the back 2 bolts in. They go straight down in the back on each side. So I'll have to make another video of that later. But I just wanted to do this one now to show you guys how simple of a kit this was. I'm only going to have to drill 2 holes, and that's going to be at the back right here. At the back, because the rail right there, see, it ends right here. So all I got to do is move the seat forward, and there's going to be 2 holes. So then what I'll do is, it's pretty easy to get under here. I won't even have to jack it up. But there will be the holes. Dang, I still got mud underneath there. But the holes will be so simple. I'll end up taking, you know, the biggest, hugest washer I can find. And actually, I might try to put a piece of like angle iron or something, like pretty long, maybe that long or something like that, as long as I could fit under there, because the seat belts are in the seats. This directly bolts to the seats. So my safety, you know, if I ever get in a wreck or rollover or anything like that, I am hold to the seat, not the body. It's kind of, now that I think about it, I kind of did like the old the old setup, the old shoulder belt. It went from here down to here, but they were old and beat up, and the box here is all deteriorating plastic. I got one more bolt to get down here to get the old one out, but I'm going to be able to put this back in place. Let me go to the other side, might be able to get a little bit more. And then I got to get this chrome trim on here. It makes it look bad, but you know, this was just done with just some black paint. And I got those. I bought these new because it just makes it look so much nicer. And then this is just vinyl alligator stuff. But I'm gonna go through, still want to go through and I hate when my screen goes black. I'm gonna go through still and compound this out, clean it up really good. Now when I bought it, in the pictures of when I bought it, that actually shows up pretty good on camera. You can't really see it in person, but this was all just a big rust hole. You can feel the texture in the scale. And in 3 years, all I did, literally, I taped off the keyhole and I spray painted it with, I mean, cheap 99-cent water spray paint almost. This is why I don't like trim and stuff. Never even sanded this down. I just painted it just to have paint on it. And I pulled all the molding off. That's something I like to do because the moldings they hold, especially up here in the Northeast, they hold so much water. And I didn't do it the right way. I just pulled it off. The only thing sucks with this particular one is it leaves a hole right there. I took my plastic K5 Blazer stuff off. When my son had his Suburban still, he didn't like these newer style lights. So I traded him for mine because they look a little better on a custom modified ride. I want to drive out to the car show so bad today, but my inspection sticker's expired. Look at that, sister. You think your 420 was funny? Think about that. I can't wait till next year when I can renew my registration. Used to be a mud truck. So, actually it's not, oh, there it is. That's what was bad with it. I won't be getting these windows tinted because that's what we got to be careful with this. When we got this out of the mud, stuck in the mud, we had some dirt in the window tracks down here. Every time we rolled down the window, we heard it scratching. So be careful when you guys are doing that. I love my vent windows. We just took some touch-up paint over here because the paint was peeling off from the trim of the I just like such a clean look of no moldings. And that's what we did with the pickup too. We took off I don't remember if there was pinstripe on it or not. I think there was an extra deep something over here. I'd take that off if my wife would let me. I don't really care for the King's Ranch emblem. But we do want to take this off. It's such a pain. It's shrinking too. You can see it shrinking. So when I can get some good 3M, they make a wheel. Then I'm going to take that door trim off. I just like clean, slick. I'm going to think about taking this off too. But I put new tail lights on. I bought them. They were $5 or something like that. I just wanted them nice and neat and clean. I got to clean that up a little bit. There's a hole there still. I have the badges here still. They're nice, good, heavy, good metal badges. And I think I'm going to put those back in just because the holes are in there. I think what I'm going to try to do for these, I'm going to try to get like a nice stainless carriage bolt. I can't get to the end of that one, but I might try to see if I can epoxy it on there or something like that, just to cover up the holes. And this is the only really through rust spot. And it's, you can see it's not even that bad. And I was going to have to, I hated it and hated the thought of having to drive this in the winter. But we got so tired at one point of fixing up old rusted out junk that we ended up deciding, screw it, I'm going to drive it. So we took every can of undercoating we had and threw it on here and in paint. This is from getting it out of the winter parking spot. But everything's perfect on it. And we got a couple of, man, there's so much you can see more on camera that you can't in person. But we painted the top. The top was deteriorating. And there's actually some pretty good shine to it. That was done with a can. And we took the windows out to paint it, thinking we were doing, a really good, nice job. But you could tell the Blazer we got this from, which is the same one the topper and the hood came from, was blue. And I didn't clean it enough. But, and then the roof. I don't know if you can see that or not, but the roof is peeling, so I have to get that. I have to paint that. So I'm going to paint the visor in the, just the visor, white, and the roof. But well, I can show under the hood now too, real quick. So I'm going to come by and show the other seat. A little easier to see, I think, but this is a good walk around here of what we got going on. Tailgate's got the old normal Blazer crack in there. The peeling white that this white did. Got a couple little dents down here, which I have a dent puller to do. And then it's not bad down in the crack down there. It's just right here. So I think I can, I'm going to put some drain holes in there and work on it. I don't like the upgraded bumper trim, so I'm going to get new bumpers and get them without the trim because it's got the hole in it. See, no rust, none. No rust. I got to work on my door fitment a little bit. It's off. It's out down here. And not straight here, but that's all stuff I need to work on later. But this is what the passenger seat looked like. That bolt's factory bolt hole. See, it's right next to that one. Then that one and that one. And I'm getting kind of a tilted feel in it, like twisted. So let's see if it kind of, not even sure if it really looks like it in here. But the seats, I haven't cleaned them up yet. They're starting to show wear. But what I wanted to do, you know, this is a budget build. I mean, it looks pretty good. I'm not saying it's no showroom truck or anything, and I don't want it to be. What I want this Blazer to be is, see how much nicer it looks with that trim on there. I got to get that trim on the other side. No rust. No rust. But I am going to try to find some yellow paint and do a little touch up here and there. And then this is this fender here. This video is a little longer than I thought it was going to be. I was just doing my, going to come out and show the seats. But paint's starting to get a little bit thin, and that's pretty cool. I actually like it. So we're going to end up clear coating over the, mixed feelings on the hood. I don't want to paint it, because if I paint it, then I got to fix all this stuff, which is going to be a real pain to fix. Don't really want to. I think I'm just going to leave it blue, because the Minion, you know, Minions have blue on them. I need to take that off. It's probably no good. I haven't tested it or anything, but, and that's my little bitty exhaust. They're a little rusty. They won't clean up that good. So I'm not sure. I think I might try to paint them black. I still got to put my other step on there. Desiree bought me steps last year. I got to change out that steering arm. Eventually it's going to have crossover steering. But when I bought it, the guy was just bleeding the brakes from putting the brand new steel braided lines on. And me and my son Dakota put those brackets on, and my son put the dual stabilizer shocks on for me, mainly just for looks. But I got new U-bolts and plates. The plates and U-bolts I showed in the other video, they're nice and flat, so I don't have a stabilizer anymore, so I don't need this bolt. So to make it cleaner and nicer, I bought them without them, and they look real nice. But this is the suspension for this. I got to get crossover steering. I got to get a 2-wheel drive steering box. So just so happens that my Suburban over here is 2-wheel drive, and that's kind of my daily driver. So I would rather make it 4-wheel drive. So I might swap the steering boxes. And this is my motor. New radiator. The one we had in it when we bought it was a little 350 radiator. That might even been a 6-cylinder. I took the headers off. Well, Richard took the headers off and had them sandblasted and powder coated, but then they just still rusted. I put the new plug wires on it. I have new valve covers for it, aluminum finned valve covers, and I didn't know that is an aluminum intake, but it's just not a high rise, and they got that stock plate underneath it. And I just put I bought that air cleaner for something else, and didn't end up using it. Sold the truck, so ended up throwing it on here just so it's got a nice big air cleaner. And some of the things I do plan on doing though is I want to take this piece right here and completely, since it's really one of the only things you can see, you know, looking at the truck, I'm going to buy a new decal, or even just take that off. None of that applies anymore. So, but I do want this painted black, and I mean jet black, absolute beautiful. And I want to go through and hand wash all of the underneath under here. I want the inner fenders, I'm going to repaint them nice satin black. I got to repaint the battery tray. And I've always wanted to do something different about these. The holes right there. I thought about actually pulling the fenders off and making plates for in here. But that would be like a lot of work to cut it to, and because this is so thick down. So I was thinking there's, you know, a couple different ways you could do it. Cut the plate, put it in there in what they got that epoxy anymore. That epoxy would be nice just to epoxy them in there and leave the bevel in there. Or you take and cut the whole thing out and weld it and all that. I'm not really up into that much work to get it done. Or I could take and make little panels and that fit in here real nice. And I thought about wrapping them in like a 3M vinyl wrap, a nice carbon fiber, and then I would put them on there. You know, and it kind of even sounds a little crazy actually. I might even think about putting it on with some Velcro, so that if they get bad, I could take them off. If they look stupid, I could take them off. But, you know, I thought of making a nice plate that matches that, wrapping it in vinyl, a carbon fiber, and then clear coating it and just sticking them on there. So then in the wintertime, whatever, I could just peel the Velcro off and bring it inside. But I just don't like that them big holes are there. And then I'd paint the inside of the fenders. This is where I want to be nice. I'm going to cut that box out, and I'm going to get a real, they make a plate to put over that. And then I'm going to paint the firewall. But all this, I want to be detailed, freaking perfect. My frame rails, even though nobody can really see, I have to stand on top of a chair to even look in here. But I want to make a nice radiator cover that goes over here, covers the whole thing. I got a chrome alternator. I had a, you know what, realizing now I did have a nice pulley, but it won't work because it's only a single pulley. And to show you, this was only put together from the guy that I bought it from with parts that he had laying around. This is the only fan that it has. And when it was having a high idle problem, you know, and no shroud. So I have a shroud to put on here now. It came with a brand new fuel pump. The headers were brand new. The alternator, which the other one that was on it, was brand new. But okay, I got to get going. I got to go inside and cook breakfast. But this is the cowl induction hood. I got a lot of the you can even hear how bad that is. I'm going to go ahead and cut it and polish it again here pretty soon. But that's a real good walk around the Blazer. I did a lot of little stuff like this. I painted this. You can't even see that the plastic is broken and missing. I got a new, see how that's dented there? I actually replaced it on this side. Went to the junkyard, picked up a piece. The hood's still bent down, but this is nice. And The grill's broke. This has been plastic pieced together, but you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And I don't want to spend a lot of money on stuff. Well, most of the reason because I don't have it. You know, I only have about $4,500 in this Blazer as it sits. $4,500, including purchase price. Tires, wheels, I got them for $500. Oh, the suspension parts. That's the other part. That's the other $500 that I kept forgetting about. Was the spring hangers, the new U-bolts, and the plates, and the body lift, because I have a body lift for it. So it makes it easier to clean, to kind of get the body up just a little bit. So, well, that's it. I didn't want this video to be this long, 25 minutes. I don't know if I'm going to edit it down or not, but that's it.